Okay, so get this.
Uh-huh.
We're diving into a world where time isn't like a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, imagine events happening out of order,
Yeah.
like shuffling a movie.
Right.
That's Lumiin.
Yeah.
And it's this realm on the planet, LEYS.
Lumiin. Okay.
It's protected by these like incredible clans
Uh-huh.
guarding this giant tree,
Okay.
which is basically the planet's like life support.
Wow.
Wow.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
What's so interesting is that LEYS, this planet, it's unique.
Yeah.
It's the third planet
Okay.
in a solar system that has 6 planets
6 planets. Wow.
and 3 suns.
Oh, can you imagine the sunsets?
Right.
Oh, wow.
But here's the twist.
Okay.
LEYS is split,
Okay.
like right down the middle into
Wow.
2 totally different realms.
Oh, wow.
You've got Orderin, where it's all about science,
Uh-huh.
and then you've got Lumiin.
Okay.
And Lumiin is where magic rules.
It's like 2 sides of the same point.
Exactly.
Wow. So this deep dive.
Yeah.
We're focusing on one clan in Lumiin,
Okay.
the Willow Warriors.
Interesting.
Yeah, we'll explore like their personality, their home, Treedom,
Okay.
and how they fit into this whole picture of protecting the Great Tree
Yeah.
from someone called Panawan.
Right, right.
He's like messing with the planet's energy grid.
Yeah, it's like someone's messing with the planet's circulatory system.
Oh, okay.
This energy grid, they call it the ore grid.
Or grid.
Yeah, and it's made up of these ley lines.
Okay.
They connect everything in Lumiin,
Oh, wow.
and they carry like this vital energy that fuels their magic.
Okay.
So Panowin, by disrupting these ley lines,
Right,
is
yeah.
throwing everything into chaos.
And that's where the Willow Warriors come in.
They're
like
like
the guardians of this great tree.
Yeah, the Great Tree is at the heart of Lumiin.
Okay.
And it literally sustains the land and everyone who lives there.
Wow.
And the Willow Warriors, they live in the forest surrounding it.
Okay.
Called Treedom.
Freedom.
And they're completely dedicated to
Yeah.
protecting both.
So what are they like, these Willow Warriors?
Good question.
Are they like mystical warriors with robes, flowing robes, meditating under the trees?
There's definitely a mystical element to them.
Yeah.
But I'd say they're more like elite soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
But also ancient druids.
Okay. Interesting mix.
Yeah.
So they're strong-willed, you said?
Incredibly.
Like disciplined.
Always.
Always ready to defend.
Defend what they believe in.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Strong-willed and disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else makes them? What makes them tick?
Strategy.
Okay.
That's a huge part of who they are.
Okay.
They think several steps ahead.
Uh-huh.
Always anticipating threats.
Wow.
Planning their moves.
So it's not just about brute force.
Not at all.
It's about their intelligence.
It's about outmaneuvering their opponents.
So brains and brawn. I like it. You said discipline. What does that look like?
Discipline. It's all about training,
Okay.
honing their combat skills,
Mm-hmm.
and adhering to a strict code.
So they can stay focused.
Exactly.
Even in the most like chaotic situations.
Even in chaos.
Wow, that paints a pretty intense picture.
Yeah.
It's making me think of those Spartan warriors.
Right.
But with magic?
Yeah, but with magical abilities.
You mentioned a Willow Warrior
Oh.
named Kai.
Yeah.
What's his role in all of this?
So Kai is one of the leaders
Okay.
of the Willow Warriors.
Okay.
And he plays a really crucial role
Okay.
in mentoring someone from Orderin.
Oh, from Orderin.
Yeah, a physics student
Physics student in Lumiin.
named John Lennox.
Wow.
Imagine a Jedi Master
Yeah.
with a student from MIT.
Oh, wow. That's a huge culture clash.
Right.
What happens when a logic-driven student like collides with magic?
John is in for a wild ride.
I bet.
Yeah, Kai becomes his tactical mentor,
Okay.
pushing him to his limit
Wow.
in physical challenges.
So it's like a crash course in defending Lumiin,
Exactly.
but with a mystical twist.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got strategy, discipline, physical prowess.
Uh-huh.
How does this tie back to protecting the Great Tree and Lumiin?
So remember how the Great Tree is connected to everything?
Through the ley lines.
Yeah, the ley lines. It's not just a source of magic.
Right.
It's also linked to the flow of time.
Hold on, time works differently in Lumiin.
Yeah,
Really?
it's non-linear there.
What does that mean?
It means events don't always happen in order.
Wow.
And because the Great Tree is connected to time,
Okay.
the Willow Warriors are safeguarding time itself.
So they're not just warriors.
Yeah.
They're guardians of knowledge and balance.
Exactly. That's huge.
It is a huge responsibility.
They're up against Panowin,
Yeah.
who's trying to, like, disrupt everything.
He's trying to disrupt the balance by messing with the ore grid.
Uh-huh.
And that affects everything.
Everything, including time.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Right.
So this is making sense now.
Yeah.
But what does it mean for the Willow Warriors to prioritize intelligence?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, their oath intelligence over life.
Meaning?
Meaning they value strategic thinking
Okay.
and knowledge above all else.
Even their own survival.
Even their own survival.
Wow, that's intense.
It is.
So they're willing to sacrifice themselves.
It speaks to their dedication.
And their commitment to the mission.
And to the greater good.
That's a level of dedication we rarely see.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does. It makes me wonder, would I be willing to put my intelligence above my life?
It's a big question.
It's a lot to process.
It makes you wonder, how does their connection to time give them an advantage?
Against Panowin?
Yeah, against someone trying to manipulate time.
Okay, I'm hooked.
Good.
We've got these incredible Willow Warriors, Guardians of the Great Tree, and time itself standing against this force that's threatening everything.
It's a battle for the balance of Lumiin.
So what happens next?
Well, next time we'll really get into John Lennox's journey through Lumiin.
Okay.
We'll see how he deals with this magical world.
Yeah.
His relationship with Kai Warrior. And the challenges they face together.
So it's like a crash course in magic.
Yeah.
For this physics student.
Exactly.
Wow.
And we'll also explore how the four clans
the four clans
work together to combat Panowin and restore balance to the ore grid.
So are they always working together? Or is there like conflict between the clans?
Well, that's something we'll look into. Sometimes they might work against each other.
Interesting.
It's not always a smooth partnership.
It sounds like there's going to be a lot of action.
Oh, yeah.
And intrigue.
Absolutely.
And maybe even some surprises.
Oh, definitely.
I like surprises.
This is just the beginning of a much bigger story.
Okay.
One that explores the power of imagination, the importance of unity, and the balance between order and chaos.
That sounds pretty epic.
It is.
I'm already hooked.
Good.
But before we wrap up, is there anything from all this that really stuck with you?
You know, what really fascinates me is their oath.
The Willow Warriors oath.
Intelligent over life.
Right.
It's such a contrast to our world.
Yeah, we're all about self-preservation.
Exactly.
It's like #1 priority.
But for them, it's the greater good.
It really makes you think, like, what would I do if I were in their shoes?
It raises the question, what happens when the smartest move is to sacrifice yourself?
It's a powerful statement about their commitment to their mission, to Lumiin.
It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Does their connection to time
through the Great Tree
give him an advantage
in this fight against Panowin?
Against someone trying to manipulate time.
It's something to think about.
It is.
As we continue exploring this world.
Definitely.
So, listener, here's something to think about.
Okay.
Until our next deep dive. Imagine you're a Willow Warrior.
Okay.
You're facing a situation, right?
Yeah.
And the only way to save the Great Tree and Lumiin is to sacrifice yourself.
Wow.
What would you do?
That's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
How would you approach that?
And how would your understanding of time influence your decision?
Right, because they experience time so differently.
Exactly.
It's not linear for them.
It's a really thought-provoking question.
It is.
To leave you with.
Until next time, keep exploring, stay curious, and remember, when magic and science collide, the possibilities are endless. Really makes you think about how we see time.
I know, right?
Like in Lumia, it's not this straight line.
Yeah, it's mind-bending.
We're used to that, right?
Yeah, like in our world, we're always trying to manage time. Make the most of it.
Yeah.
But in Lumiin, it's like time is a resource.
Right.
That they can like tap into.
Yeah.
Or even manipulate because of the Great Tree.
And that's what's so interesting about the Willow Warriors.
Yeah.
They're not just protecting a tree,
right.
They're protecting time itself.
And that connection to time, it must give them a unique perspective.
Oh, for sure.
Like, they probably see the world so differently than us.
I bet.
I bet they're thinking 10 steps ahead. Considering all the outcomes.
Right.
Because they understand how events can, like, ripple through time.
It's like they have a bigger picture.
Yeah.
A more holistic view.
It makes me think about how, we're stuck in our linear thinking. Like, we're so focused on the past and the future that we forget to appreciate the present.
Maybe the Willow Warriors can teach us something about living in the now.
That's a good point,
with their connection to time, where it flows differently.
Maybe we can learn to embrace that. The fluidity of time.
And see how everything is connected.
It's a powerful reminder.
It is.
That there's always more to learn. More ways to see the world.
Absolutely.
even beyond what we think is possible.
That's the beauty of these deep dives. Right. We explore these incredible concepts, these what-ifs, and expand our understanding.
Of the universe.
Yeah, and our place in it.
Well said. So, listener, as we wrap up this deep dive into the Willow Warriors,
okay,
I want to leave you with this.
All right.
What if, just for a moment, you tried to see the world through their eyes?
Okay.
A world where time isn't a straight line, where intelligence is valued above all else, and where a giant tree holds the key to reality.
Wow.
What would you do differently?
That's a great question.
What possibilities would open up?
Keep those questions in mind as you go about your day.
And remember, the most important thing is to stay curious.
Stay curious.
Keep exploring.
And never stop asking. What if...
Until next time, listener, keep diving deep.